So have you got a name picked?
Yeah, Leon.
Leon, what a gorgeous name.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's so happy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Let's have a little look at your picture, shall we? Oh, that's wonderful. Did the radiographer explain everything to you on the scan?
Yeah.
Yeah, and pointed everything out. It's lovely to see baby on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And everything's going well, everything's healthy and...
Yeah, it says it's going to be a healthy baby, so...
Brilliant. So Louise, do you know why that you've been asked to speak to me today before you leave clinic?
Yeah, something to do with my smoking.
Yeah, that's right. The midwife looked in your notes and she could see from your notes that you're a smoker. So you've got to 20 weeks pregnant and you're still smoking, so tell me sort of why that is.
I don't think I'm doing any harm to it, to be honest, because the smoke's gone into my lungs, so it's not really affecting the baby. Both scans have shown that it's a healthy baby, and all my friends did it when they were pregnant, so...
Okay, so your understanding is then, let me just check that with you, is that your smoking isn't really affecting the baby in any way because you're breathing the smoke into your lungs but it's not going to the baby.
Yeah.
So in some way the baby's protected?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well I'm going to talk to you about how it is affecting your baby, and to help me with that I have my own little baby and placenta here. And this is the placenta that feeds the baby. Did you know what the placenta looks like? Yeah, okay. So this part of it will be stuck to you, okay? And everything that you breathe in, drink, eat, passes over this placenta through this cord into the baby. Because that's how the baby gets its oxygen and its nutrients and its food from you. It passes over this, okay? So everything that you take into your body goes through to baby as well. This is baby's lifeline. This is really, without this the baby can't survive, and this needs to be really healthy as well. Okay, so when you smoke, okay, all the chemicals from a cigarette, and there are quite a lot of chemicals in cigarettes, do you know how many?
About 3.
3? Well, there's 3 on the cigarette packets, but there's actually 4,200. There's a lot of chemicals, and one of those chemicals is called carbon monoxide. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's given off from exhaust fumes and faulty appliances at home. It's a very poisonous gas. And with every cigarette you have, you take carbon monoxide into your body, and it passes over this placenta through this cord into baby. Now the carbon monoxide takes the oxygen away from baby. It deprives the baby of oxygen. And the other thing is, with every cigarette that you have, it's almost like I put my hand inside your body and I squeeze this cord so hard. And if I'm squeezing that cord, what do you think is happening to Leon?
It's not getting any oxygen.
He's not getting any oxygen. So that happens with every single cigarette you smoke. It takes the oxygen away from Leon. So it means that Leon, inside you at the moment, curled up like this, okay, is being fed all of these poisonous chemicals because what you breathe in is passing over to him. And right now his oxygen levels will be affected. So Leon will have a lot less oxygen in his body than he should have to be healthy and to grow properly. Did you know that?
No.
Okay, how does that make you feel?
Upset, actually.
Yeah, it is a bit upsetting, isn't it? Because you weren't aware of that before and you just thought baby was protected.
Yeah.
And there are other risks smoking pregnancy brings. This placenta can be really badly affected by the toxins in the cigarettes, and instead of it being healthy, it can get very damaged. And if this gets really, really damaged and in really poor condition, how do you think that might affect the baby?
Don't know.
You're not sure. If this can't feed the baby with the oxygen and all the nutrients, how do you think baby might cope?
Not very well.
Not very well. So do you think he's going to be a big, fat, juicy, sort of healthy baby, or do you think he might be a little bit scrawny and thin and weak?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be weak, wouldn't he? So yeah, it affects the growth of babies. And Leon, the chances are Leon isn't going to grow properly, and he won't have all the oxygen and nutrients he needs, and his growth will be affected, but more importantly, he'll be a weaker baby. So when it comes to labour and delivery, he's not going to cope as well with the contractions, and you could well run into problems in labour and end up with a caesarean section and end up being in hospital a lot longer. Leon might end up on special care baby unit because he's struggled throughout pregnancy, and he might need help with his feeding, especially if he's born prematurely. And being born prematurely means he's born before 38 weeks, and we know that's a risk of smoking. So if he came along at 30 weeks, he'd be on special care for about 2.5 months, and you're going to be stuck in the hospital all of that time with him. One of the other risks as well of smoking in pregnancy is this placenta stuck to you very well in a non-smoker, but in smokers they don't anchor as well to the uterine wall, the bit that feeds baby. So this placenta spreads itself a lot thinner and it's a lot weaker, and at some point during pregnancy this placenta could literally peel off the bit that it's stuck to, and it is called placental abruption, and it means the placenta just comes away from the wall of the uterus and it can just literally come off. And what do you think would happen if that came away? What do you think would happen to Leon?
Could die.
The baby could die, Leon could die. That's exactly what could happen. So how does that make you feel?
Quite upset, actually.
Yeah, but you didn't know all of those facts, did you, before? And it's really important that you understand those risks.
Yeah.
Because I would hate for you to walk out of this clinic today and think, well, I'm 20 weeks pregnant and my scans have been fine, my baby's growing healthily, my smoking isn't affecting my baby's protected, but he isn't. And for something to go wrong 10 weeks down the line, and then you find this out and think, if only I'd have known then my choices might have been different. And I want to give you the opportunity to make that choice based on the facts as they are, not based on what you think is the truth. Do you see why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the other thing that I would really like to do today, Louise, is test out how much carbon monoxide you have in your body and Leon has in his. And I have a special machine that can do that. So with your permission, we can take a carbon monoxide reading and we'll have a look at how things are really affecting Leon, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so we'll turn this on. And you do a blow. Okay, so we have a red reading there, a flashing red Leon. That shows us that he's in danger, doesn't it? If you remember what I said about the traffic light system, green, amber, red for danger. That shows us that there's not enough oxygen in Leon's body. The poisonous gas is taking the oxygen away from him. And right now his tiny heart is having to work so hard and so fast to try and compensate for what's happening. How does that make you feel?
Awful.
What's upset you?
I can't believe I've actually done that to him.
But 20 weeks ago you didn't know, did you, that was happening? All of this time you've been smoking, you've been pregnant, but you thought he was protected. I'm sure that's what you want to do, don't you? You want to protect him. Yeah. You didn't know, but now you do. You know, can you see why it's so important that you understood what was happening with each cigarette you have? Walking into this room, you had no knowledge at all of the gases and the terrible things that were happening. And this has just shown you exactly the effect it's having on Leon, so that you can make the choices that are right for you.